Hey, lovely Virgo. Thank you for joining me today. Oh, yes, I'm just checking my microphone here. For this, which is your new moon in Leo reading, we've got a little bit challenging light. Anyway, it's getting a bit dark here. So your new moon in Leo reading. Lovely earth signs. We're looking at overarching energies. We're looking at your choices at this time, or your choice here, which is really like the issue at hand, I suppose. And then moving forward, we will go through and clarify for you, Virgo. So we've got, just get one more card. We have very much business in progress, it does seem, or it does feel like that. We have the, we've got the Prince of Discs. So, and I do think like the last couple of Virgo readings have been in regards to projects or like construction, building something, having other people involved, all of that. We see here this prince it's kind of like the fertilizer, or the fertilizer's already been spread out. And this prince is going along and scattering the seeds. And we know that not long after that, the knight comes in quite quickly to manage all that growth. So we're at the prince here. Maybe this is yet another project for lovely Virgos. It could be anything. As I said, we'll go through, clarify. In your choice zone, as I said, this is just sort of issue at hand, probably. We get the Two of Discs. Two of Wands, sorry. Two of Wands. So it is about what you see as, what you see to be your sphere of influence. What you see to be your resources, and obviously if it's in a kind of looking at choice, we're looking at how we're going to optimize that, how are we going to utilize it to its best, for its best possible, for the best possible outcome, pretty much. Then we have the the Queen, the Queen of Wands, passionate, very willful and quite ego-driven. So I see a Virgo, actually, I really do see a Virgo just at this current point in time, almost a Virgo with a big stick. Maybe it is that Queen of Wands. But, with the big stick, like, come on. There's a level of frustration that I just feel from these cards. That something has been in process for a long time. For a long time. When we're just shuffling there, we get the Nine of Discs. This could be about yourself. Very independent, self-made kind of character there. But let's look at the Prince of Discs, please. It's a very slow card because the beginning of growth is always, it's It's Saturn time. Kronos. Let's just get one more card for the Prince of Discs for Virgo. Please. So we sort of suddenly get elevated here. We've got the King of Discs. So it's kind of interesting, Virgo, but with that we had the Three of Cups as well. A celebratory card. This is people getting together, friends getting together, celebrating, that kind of thing. You know, I just hear it. Lauding power. Lauding power. I don't know why I get that. I get this thing here that you know, it is one thing to be aware of what you have authority over, but really no individual on the planet has, you know, any authority over anyone else technically. You know, if it weren't for the power structures that a lot of institutions are based on, it would be quite simple, where people were responsible for solely for themselves, and understood that their authority is simply over themselves. I don't know why I'm getting that, Virgo, but anyway, let's look at the Two of Wands. It does seem like there's been a project for you that's gone on and on and on. There is celebration here. There is celebration. Oops, we've just got too many cards here. Two of Wands, please, for Virgo. Two of Wands for Virgo, please. What's going on here? Oh, there's something about a new cycle. Again, we get the Prince of Discs, the Six of Wands, a great winning card. We get this Prince, or in this deck, the Morgan Greer deck, of course, it's called a Page of Discs. There is some kind of shift in either momentum or proceedings, something like that. I know this sounds, I mean, it feels kind of obscure to me, but with that shift, this is the world here. So we're at the end of a cycle here. Whatever this cycle happens to be for you, Virgos out there, remember, these are just incredibly general readings. So your choice is to sort of accept, really to accept a new cycle. And doing that, whatever's going on here, and doing that, it really does, it will benefit you, if that makes sense. Whatever's going on in your life, it will benefit you to understand that this is all part of a new cycle here. There is something about this, apart from projects, apart from power dynamics. There is a thing in this, whatever this is for you, about structures, because we get the Emperor. Something about a restrictive, there's a restriction, or you feel that somehow you are restricted, or someone is some organisation making demands upon you, which is pissing you off. You can either go with it, or I don't know. It's like there's some kind of force here, if that makes sense. I'll just get one more card for this Emperor, please. So all in all, it's slightly, excuse me, difficult situation, right? Of course, when we see the world, the universe in any reading, you know, we understand that it is the end of a cycle, and it is heralding. It's saying, you know, you finished something here, like a directive to continue moving forward. As I said with this, there is a great level of success in accepting that something within this has reached its end point of sorts. But I do feel that it's more about either work or a project. We have to, just to try and clarify, the Emperor, this sort of benevolent, can be quite restrictive, rule making and rule breaking. But this Emperor is really structures. So to clarify that, we get transformation, death. So I do feel that there is a, you know, you're sort of banging up against a bit here, against something that has sort of reached its natural ending anyway. But let's just get a Brian Frood. Excuse me, sorry about burping. Pixie and Fairy, the Fairy Oracle, I should say. What's this one? It's all... Something has, yeah, it's some structure or work. It could be a work environment. It could be the way that you're working, or, you know, you want to do it in a different way, or it's just something like that. So we get, you know, and the other thing that I get, Virgo, here is that, you know, often the things that piss us off the most, you know, whether it's people or whether it's situations, it is more often than not, if we forensically dissected it, which we don't necessarily want to, we often find that those things that really piss us off are kind of familiar to us, because maybe, I'm not saying this is the way it is in your situation, what would I know? Maybe there are those things that are very familiar to us because we do the same thing. That's why they piss us off so much. Whatever that is, whether it's behaviour, the way that people do what they do, friends, people you work with, whatever it is. So with the Fairy Oracle, we get the Fawn, which is a beautiful mirroring card, hence why I say that. It's a beautiful mirroring card. But this is about counterparts, and largely it's about friendship, you know. But it feels like there is, and has been in your world, in relation to what I see on the table, that over the last sort of couple of months, there's been some big shifts in possibly in friendships, work relationships. It is something about that. It is the need to be flexible, or, you know what I mean, forensically picking something apart. With the fawn, this lovely card, really, it's a beautiful card, but it is like a mirror. With that, we get Mike the Micromancer. Speaking of forensically picking something apart, whatever that may well be, this card is all about that, like keeping a ledger of sorts. So every minute detail is accounted for, and not only in the minutiae, however you say it, of life, but on a large scale as well. So it's like everything on this larger scale can be compartmentalized, detailed out from the most expansive aspect to the smallest detail. So I'm not, so it's quite interesting, Virgo. Make of it what you will. Look, we get journey map, we get action, which is about solar force. It is like the Queen here. It is like the Queen of Wands. It's action. There's no rumination, blah, blah, blah. No mucking around. It's just a force that propels. That's what it is for. It's just action. The reason why I say there's a level of frustration here, and I'm repeating myself, I know, but I think the last couple of Virgo readings have had that feeling to them. We have the card of fruition, which, they're both beautiful cards, but fruition is about, like what appears to be a non-arrival, because it feels like you've been waiting forever. Suddenly it's almost as if it's not even about an arrival or seeing the efforts of your labours or seeing a result. It's about seeing all the detail within that and actually discovering something that's even more important. If that makes sense, even more important than what you initially thought. So it is quite a somewhat confusing read, but for someone out there, it might be quite specific. Nevertheless, I've got these cards. They're like love cards. Leo, the euphoria of this Leo season, though quite frankly, where I am, I'm not feeling that euphoric. But not at the moment. But this opening up of hearts, this wonderful thing. So I've got the wonderful exhilaration, the sun, Leo's very expressive and sun-filled. So I've got these love cards. But of course, we all know love comes in many forms. And it always comes from the heart. So we're going to take a card from the top, a card from the bottom, and in fact, another one just fell out. Oh God, that's really good, Virgo. Wow. So look, this came out. I don't know what this has got to do with whatever, but eye on your target, right? I do feel that there's a project here. There's just a level of frustration. There's a level of transformation. There's a level of ending an old cycle. And there's a level of being really acutely aware of detail and finding, and it's like you're looking here. You're looking for something, or you've discovered something in the process that you didn't expect. Eye on the target. We have on the bottom ritual courtship, the dance. Every step is a day in spring. Now that's quite something, isn't it? Ritual courtship. It sounds quite nice, Virgo. Whatever is going on here for you. Wow. And then on the top of the deck, we have attraction, mutual magnetism. Wow. So it's all really quite mysterious, Virgo. I'm sure as we are in this sandwich, by the time we get to the full moon, the second full moon in Aquarius at toward the end of this month, that we will, maybe some things will become a little bit clearer. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, Virgo. Do check out your ascendant moon, Jupiter and Venus, for a more well-rounded overview. Okay. See you later.